Yo, back at it again with a video. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just uploading something because I don't have a video idea. But I did like 3 matches last night, so I figured I'd show one of them that I thought had a pretty funny interaction. But before we get into that, just a quick, just back up a little bit on yesterday's video with the pure deck profile. I don't think I ever said anywhere in that video that I thought pure was better than turbo, and because some of you guys were thinking that I'm done playing turbo, that pure is the only way, pure is the right way. Diva is amazing, Diva is better, the whole deck's based around Diva. It's not even that's not even like what was really going on. What was really going on is I was given enough evidence to suggest that pure has decent playability based on theory another player had given me, upon other evidence of seeing the deck perform, and being able to look at your list, being able to look at pure and be like, wow, there's no baby croc here, there's no Deepsea King here, I only have the one pike. It really does feel a lot smoother as well, and so I want to try it out. And I'm not done with turbo whatsoever. I just need to play pure. I needed to get my matches in with it so I could take away technical skill from playing pure to bring that over to turbo, because an issue I have with turbo is I tend to tunnel vision, and I tend to think that my shrine in hand can only be used for deep seeking, when I don't think that's technically true. I think I need to be more flexible with my playstyle, and pure teaches you how to use every resource that you have to give yourself the best chance of winning, basically. Which, I mean, we're always doing that, but in pure, you don't have this feeling of having to hold on to your resources for the last possible second, which puts you in a lot of awkward places. When you're not able to use that shrine early on to threaten multiple 7s, because that shrine is now your win condition. It's no longer an extender to push your board. When that happens, you put yourself in really awkward game states, and the card economy can be kind of tough as well to hold up the amount of cards that you need for the shrine line into deep seeking. So I definitely learned some things from playing pure, and I've learned that there's a lot of very optimal lines where you can really just go like the XYZ Poseidra. You can send Deepsea King to the graveyard off of his effect, and then you can summon back three bodies off the Poseidra, synchro into Monoceros, summon back Deepsea King, and then get into him that way. So that was a line I had seen when I was playing that I'm definitely gonna try and remember to use. So that way, instead of holding onto my shrine all the time as oh, this is strictly Deepsea King, this is strictly Coelacanth, give it some more flexibility, and allow my deck to put on more pressure. Because the cool thing about pure was pure, just the amount of pressure it puts on is a lot. It feels a lot better than the pressure I was putting on with turbo. Where with the turbo, it's a little more of I really am just doing a bunch of bait cards, and it's oh, I've run out of bait cards. Now I'm gonna play my actual hand. And if you just held an interruption for this, I'm probably doomed. If you're able to hold the interruptions. But yeah, so I guess I really wanted to try out pure. I wanted to give it a shot, and I wanted to remove my biases that I had attached to cards like Droll and Lockbird, and to not playing Deepsea King, and yeah, just give it a shot, and I really enjoyed it. But now I'm believe it or not, I'm playing turbo again, just because I didn't really give the DB grinding treatment to turbo yet, so that's what I'm gonna be doing now. And I want to run turbo for a whole weekend and just try and get at least 15 matches in with it, and then compare the two, and then see how I feel about it. So last night we just started kind of playing with the turbo list, trying to figure out what I like, what I'm feeling like, because the deck building style for water has changed. After playing pure, there are some rules that I gave myself for that I think are carrying over potentially, and so I'm just playing with some stuff. So it's it's a 43 card list. This is against Blue Eyes. We just completely rambled ourselves into this video. This video is there's not a lot going on here. So yeah, we'll just get into it. So what we're doing here is we're playing against Blue Eyes. This is with DP Turbo, and so we go second here, which is, we are always going second. I did not win these rolls very often. So we have a Poseidra, Squad, Minstrel, Imperm, Impulse versus Drill Beam, Sage, Nibiru, Ash, Sage. So very interesting hands here. This player got very upset towards the end of this match. He said he got sacked. I don't know if he got sacked. I think my deck did what it was supposed to do. Currently, this list is playing 17 non-engine in a 43 card build. Pretty sure it is 17. Yeah, 17. So opening 2 non-engine, not the biggest shock in the world. I opened and also not very often do I ever open the combo of Imperm plus Impulse. So this is just variance for me. But his hand's pretty strong as well. This Drill Beam isn't too great in his hand, but I think it can get there. Reveal 1 Permanent or normal monster in your hand. or if you control a normal monster. Yeah, so all he needs to do is get a Blue Eyes on field, and his Drill Beam's online. So it's a brick, but Blue Eyes plays 5 bricks, and their bricks are, I think, I don't know if they're a lot worse than ours, but they're pretty close. They're actually, I do think the Blue Eyes bricks are worse than our bricks, for sure. Yeah. So, but he opened probably the best one you can open. One of the two. This one maybe Mausoleum is maybe another really good one to open. But yeah. So. We'll get into things here. So he starts off. He goes normal stage. Now I choose the imperm the stage. The reason I want to imperm the stage here is because, one, I want to stop a Veiler ad, or I want to stop like the little white lady getting into his hand because she's like an amazing extender. And I also wanted to. I also want to get my impulse live, and my only line of thought is thinking, okay, as long as he just goes like Sage into Spirit, then he'll go Spirit, Mausoleum, dump Blue Eyes, and then he'll go Spirit, summon Blue Eyes, and then I can impulse that. Would be the potential line of like what I was thinking. Now, what's funny is, so he adds Mausoleum here, and then he normals a second Sage, and when he normals second Stage, I'm like, wow, I just got punished for that. So at this point, I'm trying to play it off more or less in the fact that I don't have any more non-engine for him, at least any relevant non-engine at this time. I'm sure at this point he's feeling pretty free. You know, he's comboing off here. I do debate for a moment, like, do I want to impulse his Blue Eyes? Is it worth it? But here's the thing: if I impulse the Blue Eyes, then the True Light can get the Blue Eyes back. If I impulse Spirit, then True Light does the same thing. And if either of these two cards resolve, then he gets his Maiden. And hitting the Maiden also doesn't matter because he has the Sage on field anyways. So he's always getting his synchro he needed. So at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, this impulse is just gonna stay in my hand. I actually love holding the impulse for the synchro, the Spirit Dragon. On my turn when they try and send it tribute it off, I really like that play. And so the only thing that was unfortunate here, that I guess there's nothing I really could have done anything about, was his what's happening here? So he gets True Light, and so the only thing I was afraid of here was him using True Light to get wishes, and then I really have no way to like combat that, and because wishes, because I've started to realize like kind of how like the cards build up here, that like this, I mean, you can't really stop these, but Ash on wishes is just so crazy, and then being able to get and honestly, Ghost Ogre is definitely a potential viable option versus, well, it is good versus this deck. It's potentially worth playing in water. I don't know, Impulse is maybe too strong that you don't want the Confliction, but the True Light effect to set a spell is just, it's insane. But, so here's what happens here. So, he changes his lines, I think maybe based on me not responding with any more non-engine, and him thinking he's safe here to build up a Seal plus Blue Eyes play. And he's also probably not worried about nib here, which I understand, because if he gets nibbed, then what's the worst that happens? He summons like a Blue Eyes from deck, sets Drill Beam, or he also has True Light that can summon Blue Eyes on his turn, so Drill Beam's looking really crispy right now, so he's definitely playing through nib, but a crazy interaction here. He activates True Light to summon a Blue Eye so he can get his full board, and I stare at that True Light, I look at that Emperor in my grave, I'm like, oh no, this is a hot impulse. So I impulse a True Light, and man, that's crazy. This is an interaction that we definitely want to be looking for versus this deck, because this seemed really broken. And for the rest of the game, this was his fear, was he didn't want to summon off True Light anymore for the rest of the game because of Impulse, because of this certain interaction with the Trap Engrave. It's just so threatening, because then he loses his whole board, and it's like, and does he not get seals? This card is tributed to someone. Oh yeah, could he not have activated this? Let's see. Once per turn, if this card is your opponent's turn, you choose one monster from your field. Wow, so he can't even activate seals during opponent's turn. Yeah, so his whole board just gets annihilated. Oh my gosh! And then I top trick Dragoons, and so my hand was already good. So what was really cool about our hand is going first. We have starter. We have like a 2-card starter combination. Going second, we have a 2-card starter combination, and then Dragoons is just the icing on the cake. Dragoons is basically just like, oh, now your Minstrel is still online as your first action before you go Presagia. We were always using Minstrel first here, so we send Minstrel Dragoons mainly because we want to play into I like saving the squad for as long as I can. And so I just wanted to go for a search off Dragoons first, because especially like, so here. If I'm not hitting okay. Yeah, he just drew and he just scooped. But I would have hit the nib and then hope that he ashes the Dragoons. And if he ashes Dragoons, you know, well, honestly, it never mattered there. But if he in the case where he had 3 hand traps, you know, hitting the nib, they're always going to ash your Dragoons there. It's gonna be a bait. And then you have these the Poseidra plus squad. You know, and so like Poseidra can send squads. So even if they have a 3rd hand trap that we see from that minstrel, you can go like Poseidra, send squad, target like the field spell, and like send Dragoons as cost. So then like squad can attempt to summon, Dragoons can attempt to add, and like no matter what, you're probably getting a prince. And then from those couple lines, you'll definitely have a shrine, because once prince like resolve, because it somewhere in there you'll have enough cards to resolve your Deepsea King play, especially playing through 3 hand traps. Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, I'm talking about the impulse was wild. I guess now he needs to learn to play around that is what he's getting to. So this is another interesting hand. This is unfortunate. So one of the issues I've already seen, just a slight amount of. Well, really, it was just this one match. This is the one match where I bricked. Yeah, this is the one match where I bricked. Just opening, not getting to any playable. I technically do get to playable, but it wasn't enough to play through his board. So he has a nice hand here. You know, one of the bricks. This is Blue Eyes. I literally. Oh, and he's playing over 40, which honestly is almost worse. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, you know, we play 5 bricks. You're guaranteed to open 1 brick every single game. And I mean, look at me. I'm over here playing my bricks as well. But yeah, so he has Valor, Nib, Imperm, Maiden, Blue Eyes. We have Imperm, Meows, which is really cool here. Tactics, which is a card I'm testing right now. And then Double Dragoon, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so, you know, he starts things off here. He goes to the Maiden for the True Light. Man, that True Light's scary. And now he's going for his Wishes line. Getting his Sage. And his Majesty. Majesty is a pretty scary card for sure. So he goes normal stage here, and yeah, and so I see that he already has Maiden, he already has Blue Eyes, so there's really no point in letting this go. Like there's no point in letting this go, because if he gets this or holding this for like Spirit, because he's just gonna get he already has his synchro online, and if anything, I want him to summon these guys from his graveyard. So I do decide to imperm this once again. I want to stop him from getting any additional Valors, because especially knowing how weak my hand is, I want to give myself the best possible chance of being able to play through whatever he has. And yeah, so we attempt to stop that. And so now he grabs his Mausoleum, which we knew was happening. And then when he activates his Spirit, this is where I get to chain my Meows. And yeah, it's pretty big here. So get to chain that. I get a Blue Eyes draw, and then I get a Maiden draw. And so that was a nice Ash, although not really. If anything, the Ash is kind of late. And then look at that Impulse once again. So yeah, drawing a lot of non-engine here. This was a tough part of this game, but I am 100% looking at that Impulse as another win condition versus this True Light, for sure. So yeah, he's just getting his extra little dump off here. He's doing all those things. Yeah, Summon Spirit. He sets Imperm and Majesty, and so he has a lot here. And then we draw another Imperm. Where is our engine? So we're still fine though, because we do have main phase tactics. So we know that once we Imperm the Spirit, he's gonna chain his fusion, which he will always do, to negate it. And now we can tactics here. We can draw 2 and, you know, pray. And yeah, we draw Fluoros and Prince. So really tough on the engine here. Just was not seeing it. This could be due to my deck being over 40, and me basically not being able to decide what cards I want to be playing right now. But this changed after these couple matches. So at this point, yeah, we're just normaling Prince. We know it's not going to work. Although the fact that it does resolve at all is actually crazy. He actually does let it go. Unfortunate it didn't matter, which I would say this is a mistake. I would say that he's just like now he's having to technically spend more cards. So I'm able to send. So I just sent infantry here. I'm wondering if he's actually going to let this go. Because whatever we sent off the graveyard never mattered anyways. So yeah, it never mattered anyways, because he always doesn't have the negate for it. And big shock, he had, you know, 1 of 4 non-engine from my Prince. So we're honestly never playing with his hand. And now I'm kind of stuck with the Prince on field. If anything, I guess in that aspect, yeah, it was a good choice of him to let it stay on field strictly because of Charmy. So maybe he was reading that I was bricking, and that's why he chose to do that. I doubt it, but maybe he did. So in that sense, I did expect this to get Majesty for sure. And then I would just I would just pass on like this right here. But yeah, so I think so he activates True Light to set. You know he's not gonna be whatchamacallit. He's not gonna be summoning. Oh, he's a 1/2. Although he is eventually forced to. So we're still in a decent spot here. The reasoning is because of Impulse and the fact that he's set Roar. Because he set Roar, I can literally look at Roar as a card that we can Ash and then force him to want a special summon off of the True Light. And yeah, so that was pretty safe line here I was looking at. And first thing he does is he activates Roar. I have Ash, and then he goes to activate True Light to set. Now he says to set, but then he's looking through his deck and he says he has nothing to set. I don't know if that was true or not. I would maybe like. I think we've seen one Majesty. Like, so you're telling me, or you're one Wishes. So you're telling me you don't play a single other Wishes in your deck. You play one copy of that in your plus 40 card deck. Unlikely. So I think he just took this play back and he realized that that wasn't actually going to do anything for him. Or at least whatever he wanted to do. So he changes it to Special Summon here. And I'm like, sure, activate Impulse. That's crazy. So, unfortunate, he does have the Spirit Negate for the Impulse this time. And I don't know, I definitely had to use my Imperm last. There's no way I could have foreseen like this playing out this way. And I had Tactics in my hands, so I needed to try to get that engine in my hand. Because one Extender gets me back into the game here. Yeah, so he gets his own trap, so it's not as scary. But what this does do is, I still know his Majesty, but at least it puts him on another clock for me. So the fact that he just goes battle phase, attacks over Prince, and passes is like, okay, like that's pretty cool. But then we draw into more non-engine. So, you know, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 non-engine cards is how much we've seen, and all we've done is draw. So yeah, I have to force the pass again, Purlia in the draw phase, which is definitely a really good, I think, a really good choice here because, you know, by this time he's drawn for 2 turns in a row, and he's definitely likely to draw some kind of starter. And then, you know, the turn we have Purlia is the turn he draws a starter, so he's forced to ash that. And then on summon, I'm able to activate Fluros. So I know that I can at least get 1 draw out of him, maybe even 2. The really unfortunate thing here is him able to go Maiden to get his light back. That was a bitch. So that sucked. And then yeah, we draw another Fluros. So our ninth non-engine. And then I can't Fluros here because I already used 2 Charmies. I forgot because one got ashed. But yeah, and then at this point, he has lethal. He has 2 attacks, and then he has True Light. I definitely wanted to put him on it. I bet he was sitting in his boots right here. Yeah, sitting in his boots right here, waiting for that 3rd impulse, right? Oh, that 3rd impulse, or 2nd impulse. That 2nd impulse would have gone wild. So then, get into our last game here. And yeah, so what we're looking at here is he has Fluros, Purlia, Imperm, Purge, Sage. Then I have Impulse, Minstrel, Dragoons, Ash, Pike. So some really solid hands here. Very interesting hands. So we'll just like get into the first action here. So he goes draw phase Purlia. Now I thought about this for a second, and I decided to put him on better having the double Charmy. I know that Purlia is the much easier one to play around because really what this line would look like is you go normal Pike, or you'd probably go Minstrel, send Dragoons. You probably go Minstrel, send Dragoons. Look at his hand. Assume there's no hand traps. You know, assuming there's no other hand traps, and then add Squad, normal Pike, send Squad, summon Prince. And then you can actually go full combo from there. And so maybe in hindsight, that actually was the correct play. Probably was the correct play. I maybe didn't give it enough thought, and I was afraid of him having nothing else, and that me just not, and then giving him. Yeah, I don't think that was a line. I think I should have let this go on. I decided to put him on Better Habit, and then I go Minstrel Dragoons, and he sure as hell has it. But I'm like, and then I didn't make another misplay here. I constantly forget that Purge needs me to have a card on field, so well, I guess it never really mattered which card I banished here because he was going to stop the same search no matter what. Yeah, so we end up deciding to hit the Purge here. I think it's a little bit better of a hit. I don't really know. I mean, at this point, what I'm looking at is I have 3 waters. I've guaranteed Prince, or guaranteed I've guaranteed Prince. I really do because I've had the Squad search off Dragoons. Yeah. And then now you almost just know, because like if they don't know your deck, you just know that they're gonna look at this Pike and they go, wow, I have this hand trap that can't hit anything later, so I'm just gonna hit Pike. And what's funny is that I have no targets for Pike. I mean, I have Shrine, but it's like I guess it's for us it's the same thing no matter what. You know, because I already had Minstrel, I already searched Squad, so my last valid target in deck 4 Pike would be like Shrine or Baby Croc, I guess. But I guess the Prince is also getting Shrine either way, so it doesn't really matter what he does here. Unless there is a world where he holds the Imperm actually, and he Imperms the Mulan, which eventually comes, because in this turbo list we are playing Mulan. That's another reason why the deck might be plus 40. But yeah, so we're just sending Dragoons here. We're just trying to set up. We just want to set up, just set up Mulan here. So we're setting up 4 waters right now. And Shrine should be Prince is always just 1 more water because the Prince gets the summon back. So yeah, now we can use Prince, some of our Dragoons, then go Mulan here, and yeah, he draws into an extender. So this is like, this is perfect. This is perfectly played out, even with the Perulia. Did he draw? Oh, I know. I asked the. I'm sorry. I asked Aprilia. I'm like, wait, he should have drawn there. No, he should not. Yeah, and then we go Poseidon and Dragoons. We're not trying to give him any more draws. We want to put him on 0, like just purge, just fine. So yeah, we get infantry here, which we have in combination with our shrine and grave. So we know we have a pop because they need a body on board to make the spirit. So we have a pop for the body, and we have an impulse as a additional interruption. And yeah, from this point on, there's really no point committing our board to anything, giving him more draws for no reason. So yeah, and then he literally pops like a starter. So we could have been heavily punished by this. Also could have given him more draws and been heavily punished by this. But yeah, this is perfect. So he gets his maiden, and then we're able to hit him here. Get rid of the sage. Draw minstrel, which is like doing nothing here, and then he goes maiden and true light, and yeah, so he goes wishes, and he has to go this line to get a blue eyes on board. He gets another sage in hand that he could eventually be able to normal summon. So I don't know if there's a I don't know if there's a better target than Sage. Maybe this was more greedy. Maybe at this point I think he's assuming he's playing through everything. But then yeah, he goes to Blue Eye spell here, and then at this point he's upset. He's upset about the impulse, and I get it, seeing impulse every game, for sure. But like, there's all kind of combination of cards that we could have seen between every game. I definitely felt like I definitely felt like it was not fair of me to have to draw 9 non-engine last game and only double Dragoons and a Prince that was like irrelevant. So it happens to the best of us, and it's just based on your deck building. But yeah, because he can't do anything here. So he can't do a second normal summon. He can't get his maiden on grave. He has no blue eyes in rotation. He can't use wishes to get a fusion going. He has nothing. His true light can't do anything either. His blue eyes can't summon his true light cannot summon a blue eyes. His true light can't set anything that's threatening. And then our minstrel that we already have the game on board. Eventually, I'm just like, yeah, let's get this over with. This is my top deck was Imperm, so not great. Honestly, outside of like the combination of Imperm with Impulse, Imperm feels maybe feels okay, maybe somewhat weak, honestly, versus this deck. Hard to say, but yeah. So we just have lethal here, and we just clean it up, and then that's the game, boys. So yeah, this is my turbo list. Yeah, did you see turbo anywhere? This is a weird game. It didn't. The games themselves weren't very long, and very awkward. But yeah, so that was just an interesting game. I thought I'd show you guys, and just want to get a video out there so I can just keep up the streak going. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and peace.